And before the video starts, smash the like button.
That's what's up. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. What's going on? Right now you're watching Casino is the Name, and I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you guys about tax evasion versus tax avoidance. There is a difference. A lot of people may not understand what the differences are. We see a lot of people get in trouble with taxes, and it's primarily a rich people thing, right? Not a lot of normal people get in trouble with their tax. Not a lot of low income people get in trouble with their taxes. It's usually a thing for people who have money. Now, new money usually gets in trouble the most with their taxes because they don't understand the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. A lot of old money people understand the difference, and so they get away with not paying taxes or not paying a lot in taxes. And I'm gonna give you basically one or two simple examples of tax evasion versus tax avoidance. One is illegal and one is legal. You know which one is legal? Is tax evasion illegal or legal, or is it tax avoidance? So I'm gonna tell you right now, it would be, if you guessed, tax evasion is illegal. That's right. Tax evasion is basically trying to not pay taxes, underreporting income, lying about assets, things like that. That would be considered tax evasion. So tax avoidance is legal, and it is still a way of not paying taxes. So let me give you an example of tax evasion, right? Tax evasion would be like, let's say you were an entrepreneur and you made, let's say you made $500,000, right? But you made $500,000 and the money came to you, you haven't paid taxes on it, but you're supposed to pay a certain percent in taxes. And what you did was you said, well, you're gonna underreport, you're gonna say you only made $50,000, so you reported 10 times less than the amount that you were supposed to pay in taxes. That's what you reported, or that's what you're supposed to report 10 times the amount that you reported. So you only reported $50,000, so you will only be taxed on that $50,000, right? Now, the government does not like that. That would be tax evasion. You're evading, or underreporting how much money you actually made. They don't like that. That is against the law. You can't go to prison, okay? Tax avoidance, however, would be, okay, just as an example, let's say you sold a house, right? Let's say you bought a house, you remodeled it, and you were going to flip it. And on that profit from that flip that you were going to make, you're going to make $100,000. Say the house, you bought it, renovated it and everything, and we were all in at $200,000, and that house was going to sell for $300,000. Well, you're going to profit $100,000 in the profit after the sale, because you'll probably have to sell it for more than $300,000 because you got to pay like costs associated with closing. But let's say you're going to profit $100,000, right? So you're all in at $200,000. You flip the house, you make $100,000 profit. That profit is called capital gains. That capital gains is subject to capital gains tax. Now, capital gains tax could be 23, 25, 28%. Not exactly sure what the percentage is going to be on the capital gains tax because I never plan on paying capital gains tax. So tax avoidance would be a way of doing a 1031. And I don't know if you ever heard of a 1031, but it's a way where you have so much time in order to take that profit and put it and buy other real estate with. Now, why would you take $100,000 profit and then go out and purchase a house, a $100,000 asset? Like you go find another house that's worth $100,000. The reason why you do that is for tax avoidance, because if you do not do something similar to that, like a 1031, that capital gains, that $100,000 is going to get a $23,000 or a $28,000 tax it's going to be taxed at $28,000 or something like that. So you have to pay about a fourth of that in taxes, right? So 23% or 28% of that 100,000 turns into 23,000 or 28,000. I'm just giving rough numbers right here. So you have to pay that percent in tax. So now you're only left with 75,000, right? Now, the reason why you would take that and do a 1031 into a property is because you can buy that property at $100,000. All in, you own the property, you own the asset now. So now you can then in turn go back to a bank and borrow against the asset. So you got a $100,000 asset that you own free and clear. You can borrow 80%. Some places may let you borrow up to 90% of the value, but for sure, most places let you take out 80% loan, 80% of the value of that on a loan. And the loan might be at 2 or 3%. So instead of paying $23,000 in taxes, you might pay $2,000 in taxes. Or not in taxes, but in interest. So you're going to pay that interest on that money. Then you still have control of that asset, and you still have $20,000 worth of value in that asset that you still didn't even pull out yet, or that you just still have in that asset. Now, you can then take that asset and turn around and rent it out. So now, even that 2% that you're paying back on that 80,000 that you poured out, which is still more, because remember, even if you took the $100,000 profit and they were going to tax it at, say, 23 to 28%, that's still 78 to or 77% or 75% or whatever it is, 72%, which is still going to come to you, which will be about 72,000 to 78,000 or something like that. That's still less than the 80,000 that you would get from pulling 80% of the $100,000 out. You see the difference? You still got the money. Well, you actually get more money than you would if you don't do the 1031. So you'll get the money, plus you don't have to pay that full amount in taxes in interest. In tax, because I consider it all interest, right? But you won't pay 23% or 25% or 28% in taxes because you're avoiding the capital gains tax, right? You are going to pay about 2-3% to the bank, but you have a tenant and you still own that asset who's paying that back for you. Plus, don't forget, you still have $20,000 worth of value still in that property, which if you ever sell that property again in the future, you can also, let's say that value of that property goes up over 10 years and the value of the property doubles or is worth $80,000 more than what it was worth before. Now you can still go pull against that or sell it, flip it onto the market, take another 80,000 out, and then go back and do the same thing over and over and over. And that's a way of avoiding capital gains and using tax avoidance, which is completely legal, versus tax evasion, which is illegal and will get you in prison. All right, anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, man. Like this video, comment, subscribe. If you find any value in it, please get in the comment section and let me know what you think. All right, we out. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you want to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1 on your trucking authority. The link is going to be in the description. It'll pretty much tell you everything from if the taxes to different types of trailers and all sorts of things. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. Link will be in the description. Go get it. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really tried. You say you want to be successful. Well, what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name.